As per the recommendations by the Special Committee on COVID-19, schools will resume for students of grades 10, 11, 12 and 13 from the 8th of next month. In line with the decision, Catholic schools in the country too will be reopened for these grades. Following a 6-month closure brought on by the pandemic, Sri Lanka also fully reopened primary schools island-wide starting from the 25th. Meanwhile, signed by the Director General of Health Services, new guidelines have been issued for the period extending from the 1st to the 15th of November, while continuing some of the previous guidelines issued. As per the new guidelines, people are instructed to avoid unnecessary travel in order to minimize the risk of transmission. As for meetings and events, health authorities strongly encourage virtual platforms. However, for in-person meetings, only a maximum of 1/3 of the usual capacity of the room or hall is allowed, not exceeding 150 persons. In terms of private gatherings, a maximum of 1/3 of the capacity, not exceeding 10 persons, are allowed at a private residence. Economic centres continue to be open for wholesale business, however under strict supervision of local authorities and the area MOH. Guidelines with regard to restaurants continue to remain the same, with an in-house capacity of 75 persons allowed. As for outdoor arrangements, authorities have granted permission for a crowd of 100 people. Daycares are permitted to continue operations, and for preschools, only 50% of the usual capacity is allowed. For vocational training institutes, half of its usual capacity is allowed. As for cinema theatres, permission has been granted for only a 25% of the full capacity. In an event of a wedding, a maximum of 1/3 of the usual capacity of the hall is allowed, not exceeding 100 people. In terms of outdoor weddings, the guidelines allow a maximum crowd of 150 people. In an event of a funeral, a maximum of 20 attendees are given permission at a given time. Collective activities or gatherings are strictly prohibited at religious places. Meanwhile, among the more notable revisions, permission has been granted to resume tuition classes for GCE ordinary level and advanced level students from the 16th of next month. However, the establishments can only accommodate 50% of student capacity. According to the communiqué, the health authorities will review the pandemic situation and issue the relevant guidelines to be followed after the 15th of November. In the meantime, the ongoing interprovincial travel restrictions will be lifted tomorrow at 4 a.m. With that, interprovincial trains will resume normal operations starting from the 1st of November.
කට උත්තර නැති වෙන්න කලින් සිග්නල් ඩීප් ක්ලීන් එකකට මාරු වෙන්න.